Welcome to More Based Off, where reactions are based on facts, commentary is based on experience, and every opinion is rooted in real talk. If you enjoy honest conversations, hit like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Good morning. Alan Thompson here with More Based Off. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Polo and this latest spicy scene. There's a pattern on this channel that's very predictable at this point. Meet an interviewee. Let's find out a little bit about them, and let's ask if they're going to do spicy scenes. The ones that have been on the channel, when is their next spicy scene going to be? So Polo has had now another spicy scene. The one with the strawberry character never occurred, which we kind of suspected that based on her condition, and so they showed back up, and whatever happened with her, but whatever. So Polo supposedly calls Marcus at like 7 a.m. and has a new candidate for the spicy scene. So of course Marcus so happens to be up on a live during the time when Polo calls, and immediately stops everything and goes to meet Polo for this spicy scene, because when you Marcus, you don't ever sleep because you don't ever know when somebody's gonna call you to record a spicy scene. I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready to jump up and leave my house at 7 a.m. to go and record spicy content. I can't say, oh, well, let's do it at 12 noon or, you know, um, you know, a little later. No, I'm on call. I'm gonna do it as soon as you call me, no matter what time, day or night. So Marcus goes to meet up with Polo, sees who this young lady is, and the young lady, of course, is someone that does the same type of work that all of these young ladies do. And as he starts to interview the young lady is literally like, like slow. It's like she can't even answer questions. First of all, you don't even know if she. It's almost like she's mute. It's like, can she talk? It's like Polo's answering questions for her. You can clearly see something is off. And the first thing I thought of was that it seemed as though, when people go through real traumatic situations that are in their lives, it causes them to be, just like I said, almost mute, where they barely talk because whatever the trauma is was so bad that it makes them extremely introverted. And that's the way she came across to me. And so, they talk, and then, Marcus says, well, so you want to do the scene? And of course, first she didn't really even answer. Polo's just like, yeah, she's with it. And, of course, eventually she says yes. But this goes back to, again, when you look at it from a legal standpoint, if you look at it, yeah, she said yes, but what is her mental capacity? She's saying yes, but she's something, the lights are on, but nobody is home. So again, what are you doing? You know, so they go ahead and shoot the spicy scene. So let's talk about this. So it appears Marcus has an Airbnb somewhere in Atlanta. Looks like a nice building, like it looks like a, one of these high-rise buildings, because you see them leaving and they go down in the elevator, they go through the lobby. And then Marcus intentionally puts his camera down because he doesn't want any identifying factors so people know what building it is. So think about it. You in this building now, has an Airbnb or whatever. Who knows how long he's going to have it for, so he can do his spicy scenes. This is a residential building. People live there. Look, I'm one of those neighbors. I look through my peephole and I see certain activity in the apartment across from me, and I see these random people constantly in and out. It's not hard to figure out what's going on. Like when they were leaving yesterday, you see this chick in Polo, and it's like, what's going on over there? That sounds like an email to management. Like, I'm seeing some certain activity going on. So anyways, I don't think that's going to last long. But again, dealing with Marcus and his antics, he's not very smart. It's like you can always already see where stuff is going to fail before it even starts with him, because he's just so um, it's like he makes these decisions because he's just trying to get his bottom line done, but he's not thinking long term about the repercussions that are going to come. It's going to happen. It's not when, a matter of, I'm sorry, if. It's a matter of when with these scenarios with Marcus, and it's getting worse and worse. And so you have to ask yourself again, what is going on with him? Mentally, something is very off. And I don't think it's anything new. I think it's just being exposed more, the behavior. I think this is clearly something that's been a part of him for much longer than any of us have known of him. But yeah, that's the latest with Polo. It's a road to nowhere. All of this sex, and all of this, spicy scenes with these people that are drug addicted, multiple partners. Polo, that's not going to end well for you. You need to slow down and look what they say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Hey, let's talk about it in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Let's talk about it. Alan Thompson with more Based Off. Thanks for watching More Based Off. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with someone who would enjoy it too. Your support helps to grow the channel. If you'd like to support the channel even further, my Cash App is on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.